Hello there YouTube and welcome to a Who review. I am Davros and I'm a Whovian, and today I am reviewing the Sarah Jane Adventures, The Man Who Never Was. So this is it. This is the end, the final ever Sarah Jane Adventures. So in this there's this new product coming out called Surfboard, which is promoted by this guy named Joseph Surf. And when Sarah is invited for an interview with this guy, they eventually discover that not all is what he appears to be when he's a hologram, and the real mastermind is Harrison, his assistant, played by James Dreyfus, who probably today in the Whoniverse is known as playing the first incarnation of the Master in the first Doctor Big Finish audios. And in this we basically see that he has these little slaves called Skullheads, who are like little Cyclops monk-like creatures, who we first think are evil henchmen, but are actually slaves and they're good guys. One of them, the main one, I believe, was played by an actor who played the Centaurian in it, being reused again. Yeah, and of course we get a majority of the gang back together. We get Clyde and Rani, we get Skye, and Luke comes back in this too, and they basically have a brother and sister connection going on. Of course Skye is a bit bland because I don't think her character had the time to develop at all. And also, the writers had to like pretty much, tie things up, wrap it up and everything, make sure it ends on a good conclusion and that, because this was the last one that managed to wrap up before Elizabeth Sladen's sad passing in 2011, like when she died of cancer. So yeah, that's pretty much the story. So the things I liked about this, well, first of all, I liked the brother and sister dynamic between Luke and Skye. After all, they are like adopted by Sarah Jane, so I liked that. I liked their chemistry and performance together. I also liked Rani, how she was actually getting into the whole hang of journalism and how she was, sort of finding her footing. Of course, Clyde was great in this too, with his, comedicness and comic relief in there, because, well, the last story centered a lot on him. But I also feel that we centered a bit on Rani too. Of course, I also liked, the Skullheads in this. They were funny little creatures, which I kind of thought were likeable. Of course, I also liked the, Joseph Surf, his name. He was an interesting character, only he turned out to just be a hologram. And yeah, but I thought the actor did a good performance playing him. Then there's James Dreyfus's character Harrison. Now, he was basically a typical greedy, evil, nasty villain in a suit, basically. And I kind of think, could he be the Master, just messing around up to his old tricks? That's probably very unlikely that he is the Master, but I kind of can see how he was, how he ended up becoming like an incarnation of the Master in a Big Finish audio, which I don't know if is canon or not. But yeah, he played a good villain that was unlikable, but yeah, it was a good one. And of course, I can't forget Elizabeth Sladen in her final swan song as Sarah Jane Smith. She has just been the heart of the show and has just been the best, and it's really sad that the show had to end there. Like I say, series 4 ended nicely and it could have just stayed ended like that, but no, they went and made a 5th series and only half made it. But Elizabeth Sladen, she did great in it though, even though this was before she got too ill, and she gave it her all in this, and she was just wonderful playing her character, and I really loved her performance. And I was also a bit saddened because I knew that this was going to be the very last time I see her in her role. playing Sarah, and it was sad, you know. And even the ending, when it showed us that the story goes on forever, watching all that, it was pretty sad. I got a bit emotional, I got to admit, because, you know, this was pretty much the end for the show and an era, really. I really did feel a bit sad about this, you know, ending, because it was a fun ride, and I really did enjoy that. Of course, there are some negatives in there, that this was probably not intended to be a series finale. I could tell that this wasn't meant to be a finale, and it doesn't feel like it is a finale, but it is a finale. But, you know, if only they'd have just left it at series 4. Did we need a 5th series? I'd say probably not, but in a way I'm kind of glad they did a 5th series, but then I'm not glad that they ended it the way they did, how they did half a series. So I have a bit of a love-hate thing for that, but all in all, they wrapped it up on a good note, and it was a pretty much a shame for the other stories that they had planned ahead, you know, like the, you know, that we were going to get some up with the shopkeeper, you know, maybe Sky would develop into a better character. All that we will never get to see, at least not on screen. Maybe in Big Finish Audio, I don't know. I've not listened to any of the Sarah Jane adventures in Big Finish Audio, or if it's continued in any comic books or anything, her adventures. But, you know, on screen, where it's all canon and stuff, yeah, it's a bit of a bittersweet ending. I mean, it's sad because we know that there weren't going to be any more, and that Elizabeth Sladen started to get ill. But yeah, it's been a great show. I really enjoyed watching it, and I really enjoyed reviewing it over these past few years or so. Anyway, yeah, my ratings now. What am I going to rate this? The performances, I'm giving a 10 for this one, because I want to end the performances on a good note. Like I say, Elizabeth Sladen, she gave it her all. The writing, I'll give that an 8. My visuals, the effects I thought were good, I'll give them an 8, and my personal, I will give it a 10, because I just enjoyed it, because I knew this was the end. So there you go, those are my thoughts and ratings, and my review on the Sarah Jane Adventures, The Man Who Never Was. And that's it for the Sarah Jane Adventures, the end. So yeah, I've pretty much reviewed every episode ever made, and this is also the last of my reviews of any Doctor Who spin-off, because I pretty much reviewed everything else. Torchwood, K9 and Company, Class. So yeah, from now on, whenever I review something on this channel, it'll just be strictly Doctor Who. So yeah, like I say, I've enjoyed reviewing it. You can watch all the Sarah Jane Saturdays on this channel, on my playlist. I'll link it at the end of this video, or they'll be in the cards above. You can check it out anytime you want. So yes, that's it for this one. I've been Davros the Whovian. This has been Sarah Jane Saturday, the last ever one. So yeah, until next time, run for your life.